This is your brain. It's basically a big information storing sponge that controls your entire body and everything you do. Sure, we kinda need it, but when it comes to this one particular thing, the brain is sorta stupid. When you have a thought, whether that thought be a positive thought like I look damn good today, or a negative thought like if I have a panic attack right now I'll go crazy, your brain is going to see those thoughts as real and happening. Now because the brain is going to see those thoughts as reality, you're going to experience an emotion to go along with those thoughts. And because you experience an emotion with the thought, that doesn't mean the thought is important or hinting at some kind of truth. It's not. It's just because your brain doesn't know any better. So when you have the thought, I look damn good today, you may smile and feel happy inside. But when you have the thought, if I have a panic attack right now, I'll go crazy, you're going to start feeling anxious, maybe upset and scared. You get the idea. Now, if you've watched my channel for a while now, you know that I preach the importance of not arguing with your thoughts. And the point I just made above is exactly why I preach that. The more you get involved with your thinking, the more feelings you're going to experience. Now you might be wondering, well, if this is all true, why don't I just think happy thoughts all day long? Well, being positive will always be a good thing, but if you're trying to fight off or argue with negative thoughts, you usually end up losing or stumbling upon other negative thoughts while trying to fight off the original one. That is why I recommend simply accepting that you had said thought, dismissing the thought, and then moving on from it. So say to yourself when a negative thought pops up, no thanks, then smile and carry on with your day. This takes practice, and you may find yourself stumbling back into the old habit of getting involved with your mind from time to time, but just keep practicing. Want some more evidence to back all this up? Take going to the movies, for example. If you see a horror movie, you're going to start thinking about what you're watching, obviously. So when the bad guy kills the good people, you're gonna get scared. Why? You know it's a movie, just like you know a thought is just a thought, but guess what? Your brain doesn't. So when you're having scary thoughts while watching the horror movie, your brain doesn't know that those thoughts aren't real. It thinks they are real, so you get scared. And that's exactly why people love watching movies or playing games, because they provoke real emotion inside of us. So when you're playing Tomb Raider and you're having thoughts about giving it to Lara Croft, your brain doesn't know that that's not a reality and you're probably going to get a boner. To sum all of this up, the brain wants the best for you. It wants to protect you with anxiety when needed, but it can't tell the difference between thought and reality. It gives you anxiety when you don't need it, anxiety over your thoughts, because it doesn't know any better. Like in times when you're just sitting at home on your day off relaxing and watching TV. There's obviously no real danger around, there hardly ever is, but because you had a negative pop-up thought about having a heart attack from panic, you're now scared and anxious and maybe you will have a panic attack, but nothing is really happening. So what would you do in that situation? Accept that you had the thought, don't try to run from it, accept the anxious, scared feelings that that thought brought, then refuse to get involved with that thought or feelings, because if you do, it's just going to lead to more thought and further down the rabbit hole you fall. So accept the thought, don't get involved with it, accept the feelings the thought brought, and realize that your brain just doesn't know any better. If you dedicate to doing this anytime you have those negative thoughts and start feeling anxious, you'll sooner or later become the master of your mind and not the other way around. It takes time and it takes practice. You've probably spent years getting involved with all of these thoughts and feelings, so you're basically breaking a bad habit, and we all know you can't break a bad habit overnight. It just doesn't work like that. Now, young grasshopper, dedicate to this and watch your life slowly start to change. Don't get discouraged when you don't see results overnight and then fall back into your old habits and remain stuck in the cycle. And one last point I kind of want to just throw in there for good measure. If you're currently sensitized, aka you have a weak and tired nervous system from battling with so much anxiety, the emotion when you get a thought is going to be a bit more intense than your average reaction would have been. So whereas someone who isn't sensitized still gets slightly scared from a negative thought, a sensitized person will get really scared from a negative thought. But either way, sensitized or not, you need to follow this. It'll help prevent you from becoming sensitized and heal your nerves if you're already sensitized. Now, with all that being said, I believe in every single one of you, and I know you can do it. I know it isn't always easy, but it'll get easier in time. Acceptance will always be the key, and though it may seem impossible, it's possible. Starting today, take your life back from these harmless thoughts and feelings. Accept them, don't run away from them, and just leave them alone. I know you can do it. Alright you guys, it's WonderBro here. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I had a lot of fun making it, and I hope it helps somebody out there. I love each and every one of you. Make sure you give this video a like if it did help you out. Comment, share, subscribe if you haven't already to join our growing YouTube family. And as always, stay awesome.